Yesterday evening, Kensington Palace published an unusual statement from King Charles III that immediately made headlines in the British media and around the world. The statement did not reveal much about the specific nature of the monarch's recent health issues, but expressed his gratitude to the public for their outpouring of support, and indicated that by drawing attention to his condition, he hoped to raise awareness for others suffering from similar ailments. The timing was notable, coinciding as it did with the resignation of Prince William and Kate's longtime private secretary. It caps a week rife with speculation about the type of cancer afflicting the new King of England and how advanced it might be, sparked by controversial reports of his planned treatment regimen. Rumors have swirled that Charles, a noted advocate of homeopathic approaches, is pursuing an unorthodox path, but concrete details remain scarce. The latest gossip circulating among the royal rota, the press corps granted special access to the British royals, has attempted to shed further light on the exact disease plaguing Harry and William's father. Sources suggest the issue lies not with Charles' prior bladder surgery, but rather Hodgkin's lymphoma, a respiratory cancer that in decades past carried grave prognoses. Today, due to medical advances, lymphoma patients frequently live far longer than was once expected, as demonstrated by the case of a famed Argentinian broadcaster based in Mexico. Forced to step back from his popular program approximately a decade ago for treatment, his positive mindset helped him survive nearly 10 more years until his death in 2022. Even a veteran BBC reporter long acquainted with the royal family hinted this week that Charles' team may be intentionally projecting more optimism than warranted, a coded message buried in her exchange with the palace. Clearly, Harry's whirlwind visit last week was no coincidence, implying he had greater awareness of his father's condition than publicly suggested. The brevity of their meeting also indicates the king needs ample rest amidst his demanding new duties. But the experimental homeopathic therapy Charles reportedly favors to combat the cancer has sparked skepticism in recent days. A champion of alternative medicine his entire public life, he has long pushed for British legal recognition of homeopathy as a viable treatment option equal to traditional approaches. Ironically, details of this controversial regimen emerged via The Guardian, a newspaper often at odds with Charles's son Harry. Other outlets described a pioneering, non-invasive, and specialized course of care, while some labeled it outright experimental. Apparently administered weekly, the unorthodox treatment aims to accelerate healing as much as possible for the new monarch. The reports indicate King Charles III intended to continue his regular agenda from Sandringham, including signing legislation and holding weekly audiences with Prime Minister Sunak. The Prime Minister, for his part, has already issued the customary political message expressing being deeply moved by the public's outpouring of letters and well wishes under the circumstances. This royal rota leak does seem a betrayal of sorts. However, there is a feudal symbiosis at play. These journalists would not publicize anything without tacit approval from official palace sources. Lately, I've noticed this pattern frequently. Furthermore, in Prince Harry's book, he alleges certain royal household staff, even Camilla herself, actively undermine Princes William and Harry to bolster their own images and standing with Charles. So could this statement coincide with the resignation of William and Kate's private secretary by design? The very day Kensington Palace released another official update on King Charles II's health, we learned William's private secretary, Jim Christophe Grey, has resigned his post. The original source that broke this news raised suspicions, given other media rushed to claim Grey is a civil servant who previously served as spokesperson for Prime Minister David Cameron. Supposedly, he was only meant to work temporarily with William and Kate and will now return to government service. But it seems hardly a day goes by without shocking revelations about Prince William and Kate Middleton in particular. While no grave incidents like formal separations have occurred, yesterday word emerged Kate left Adelaide Cottage for a stay at a Windsor estate farmhouse. Very peculiar. Kate's family has gone silent, and meanwhile Prince William, despite saying he'd resume duties this week, suddenly has no major events until March. Perhaps with the school holidays approaching, he simply wants to spend time with the children, which is understandable. But something feels amiss. Online opinions abound. Rumors of Gray's impending departure circulated back in October 2023, coinciding with those first divorce whispers and speculation over William's alleged affair with Rose Hanbury that purportedly led to Kate's hospitalization in December as a mental health crisis. Unofficially, Kate was said to have spent nearly 10 days hospitalized, but no cars, helicopters, ambulances, or footage proves she was ever admitted to or released from the London clinic, nor even left Adelaide Cottage where reporters were stationed. Given this backdrop, many point out the clear double standard versus coverage of Prince Harry, where any gossip about him and Meghan rapidly circulates, often twisted negatively for profit and harm. Harry's book exposed how their own staff would leak distorted information to the most sensationalist British tabloids. Meanwhile, this news about William's office has gone largely unnoticed despite coming amidst his father's critical health update. Of course, this shakeup in William's household staff will not happen immediately. According to reports, Ian Patrick will replace Gray, a former diplomat who previously worked under Democratic Freedom Party leader Lord Astown. The current secretary will not depart until end of February when Patrick assumes the role. One interpretation is that communication issues between William and his father, King Charles, may have precipitated this sudden staff change. After enduring awful press coverage during Kate's illness, branding him a drunk with marital problems and alleged infidelity with Rose Hanbury, William could be sending a message. While the foreign press has been more sympathetic in tone, rumors have swirled about William's supposed affairs and public denials, as well as sightings of Hanbury wearing outfits similar to Kate's and donning comparable tiaras, provocative choices, no doubt. With divorce whispers growing louder amidst claims of a broken marriage, the heir would presumably want full media support to weather any impending storm. To clarify, Jane Christoph Gray was only ever private secretary to Prince William specifically, not Kate Middleton. She continues relying on her own trusted advisor who has apparently stood by her side during this tumultuous period. Kate's inner circle also consists of family, namely her parents and siblings, as well as a personal assistant, hair/makeup artist, the nanny Maria Theresa, and now just Gray's imminent replacement. With the cascade of news these past weeks, winds of change seem to be blowing through the monarchy, though it remains unclear whether for better or for ill. Some even point to Nostradamus prophesying Charles III as the last king, speculating this could mark the end of his dynasty's reign. Of course, all this could simply be media conjecture rather than coordinated efforts to smear the king's sons. However, suspicions persist around Camilla's potential role in planting negative information, as she has long been accused of befriending then betraying Princess Diana. I must confess, the more I learn of Queen Camilla, the more incredulous I become over her vast media connections cultivated to shield her image, while she reportedly masterminds vengeance against old foe Diana. After all, the late princess disclosed in her famous TV interview how Camilla made her marriage a crowded one right from the start. Meanwhile, Camilla's son has hardly led an exemplary personal life either, yet escapes similar scrutiny in the press. The 50-year-old also writes for publications and retains cozy ties with media groups like The Mirror, which seem to provide cover for his mother while attacking Harry and William when convenient. In closing, I appreciate any feedback or comments you may have. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos here and on my alternate channel. Thank you for your time and interest.